It's always a beautiful day when you can get out there and do a nice open water run, except for when you forget that the reef is there. Welcome back, guys, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Our subject we're going to talk about this week, well, that's going to be around the docks. This is one we really haven't talked about a whole lot, but I'll tell you what, it is one of the more interesting areas of boating. And this can be a little bit of anywhere. It might be around the docks down at the boat ramp, it could be over at the marina, but you never know quite what you're going to see down at the docks. Sometimes it'll be an interesting boat, and sometimes, well, it'll be a little bit more lively action. But one thing is for sure, if you hang out around the docks enough, you're bound to catch something going on. For whatever reason, boat docks just appear to be a magnet for action. There's always something going on down at the boat dock, and maybe it's just the consistency of boats being there that adds to that higher probability of things going wrong and incidents occurring while down there. Sometimes the instances will be things we will see coming, and sometimes, honestly, things that'll occur around the docks are things we could never possibly imagine happening. Kind of like this here. What's the chances you think that you're going to park your car somewhere near a dock, and the next thing you know, you're going to have an accident with a boat? The probabilities of it happening are probably exceptionally low, but the probabilities of you even thinking about it happening are probably even lower. But one thing is certain for sure, you've got to keep your head on a swivel down at the dock because you never know what to expect and things can happen at any time. It could be something like this where the captain wouldn't let this guy use the head compartment on the boat, so he had to come up with his own way of doing it. Or maybe it's somebody coming in trying to dock, but they're getting just a little bit too handsy with the throttle and things all of a sudden get out of control. What? And the sweet art form of docking, why don't we talk about that for a few moments, because that's definitely where you're going to see most of your action down at the docks. For whatever reason, docking is a very difficult process for most boaters. It's something that takes years to master, and well, honestly, it can become very frustrating and make boaters very angry. For many boaters, it's one of their least favorite parts of boating. It's a cause of anxiety every single time. I know boaters to this day that every single time they have to approach their dock, for whatever reason, they'll have to go to the restroom or they'll have to do something to be able to hand the wheel over to somebody else on the boat because they don't want anything to do with it. And then of course there are some boaters, kind of like this guy we see here, who probably actually should not have anything to do with it. Docking is an art form, and it is an art form that can be learned, but one of the things that complicates docking is every time you approach the dock, it's different. The wind's going to be different, the current's going to be different, which is going to cause you to have to take different approach angles every single time. That approach angle you approached the dock with last week and landed you perfectly in the slip may not be the one that's going to do it for you today, but the one thing that is steady in docking is that old golden rule of boating: never approach anything faster in a boat than you want to hit it, and that's especially true in docking. But that doesn't mean that speed's always going to be the issue at the dock. Sometimes you'll take it slow, you'll take it meticulously, but the other factor you've got to contend with is typically there are other people on your boat who don't really know what they're doing and they want to help, and it's your job as a captain to be sure to guide them to make sure things go the way you want them to go. Everything going on around the dock is about precision, and it's not just about docking the vessel, it's about boarding and offboarding the vessel as well. You've got to be careful in everything you do around the docks because it's tight quarters, and sometimes if you're not paying attention, you can find yourself in a tight spot. And issues and incidents at the dock, well, they don't only occur to boaters, they can occur to basically anybody who's down there. Nobody's unsusceptible to having things go wrong down there. It could be you're out there riding your bicycle enjoying yourself, or maybe you're down there in your wife's car with no insurance on it and you decide, heck, let's give it a little bath. Nothing like a free lake wash to get your car going and make the wife happy when you get home. Kind of like this guy's doing here. Apparently this guy spent his day around the lake driving his car through it multiple times, but this time, well, he sent her a little too far and he winds up getting the car stuck out here. Stuck so much that the person filming this actually had to tow him out, rip the bumper off the car when they tried to get the car out of the water, and I absolutely have to imagine the story that my man told his wife about how all this went down had to be an epic one. And then of course there are those poor souls who are over at the boat dock and boat ramp watching water drain out of their boat because they didn't hit the subscribe button on this channel, and of course, as you know, we stole their drain plug. I do have to give you guys a big shout out before we go though. Last week we mentioned that my assistant had been on my tail about not pushing stickers. Over on eBay, if you go search Drain Plug Mafia, you'll find our official Drain Plug Mafia stickers, and you guys actually went and bought every sticker we had in less than 24 hours over there. Don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and get those reloaded. I do apologize for those of you who went looking and they were already sold out, but they should be reloaded now. So if you're interested in keeping your drain plug safe, go ahead over to eBay, type in Drain Plug Mafia, and buy yourself a sticker and slap it on your boat. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Marvin Maverick, Own Nemo Lap 2018, Z Crazy, John Woo, TDI Billow, Micah S075, Brian Leberton, Zach Nicholas, and Brandon Bloomquist did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.